I was wondering what foul sort of thing Keith would do to bring us back into the episode.
You know, it's not even really so much of a dice roll. He kind of makes that one every time you hit the record button.
I knew it was going to be foul, but I just wasn't sure which foulness it was going to be.
I mean, what? It's not. Are you sure that's not just the sound of the recorder itself?
Honestly,
well, it's a chicken or the egg situation, isn't it? Are you doing it because he's hitting the record button, or does hitting the record button make you do it?
I was assuming he was going to make like some kind of like, I don't know. This time around, I think it was going to be like a pedophiliac joke of some kind.
Kyle, rein it in. Rein it in. Rein
Well,
it in. It's like 60 seconds or whatever. You're demonetizing us. Oh, there was a save point down here. I could have saved us all a lot of fucking effort.
Oh, yes, on the vending machine, of course.
On the vending machine.
Keith, go back. Did you notice what that sign said?
What did it say?
It says it right there, too.
But it's not spelt wrong. Like the one I want.
Not spelt wrong in the fun way.
Is this Echoes of the Future?
Is it that fucking shoe company or whatever? I don't know. Comedy
Did you
silence.
say Chew Company or Shoe? I think
anyway,
it's a
fucking
brand.
guess. You take a big fucking guess right now.
Well, it's not a shoe; it's a fucking clothing brand. So Keith is wrong in both aspects.
Kyle, I wasn't going to acknowledge you even as much as Nick did in order to vituperate you. I was just going to switch into saying, we were talking about how like we aspire to be as useful as someone who's even moderately handy with Microsoft Excel, and I'm just thinking, I'm over here like, I aspire to be as happy and successful as the guy whose job it is to announce himself as man with the smallest balls here.
So I have to be curious. I am curious, Keith. What is your end goal here? Like, what's like
to die?
You're 40 years old. You're not dead. What is it you're doing?
I don't know. I thought I'd be dead by now. It just didn't work out.
Your 5 year,
Yeah,
my 5 year plan.
So did I,
didn't
but
work out.
I got this far.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like what we're doing here is like kind of the opposite of imposter syndrome. It's like imposter syndrome, but you know you're not qualified and you are encouraged by that.
Well, yeah, in my case, it's not a syndrome, it is a fact.
Well, Kyle, what's happening on the screen right now is basically whenever you ask me about my job aspirations.
So you just hope that the whole room
Blood,
starts
rust,
bleeding?
and darkness.
The bathtub starts filling up, the metaphorical bathtub of my mental cognizance.
Shame.
Oh.
It's our world is being invaded by the other world, the world of adult responsibilities and and needs being fulfilled.
Because
I feel like our world is the other world. Ours is the crap that spills into other dimensions and gives them nightmares.
Yeah, we're three twitching homunculi walking around an amusement park and like some poor hapless human wanders in. And
that's
tries,
gotta have fucked her foot up too, just kicking that bathtub.
And none of it's a
she's wearing
cheap one.
boots.
It's a demo one that like they have at the hardware store.
Yeah, but those are Uggs. Those aren't like fucking steel toe
They didn't have
boots.
Uggs back then.
Whatever they were, the style of that, like the snow boot, whatever.
In fairness, the timing of this one is ambiguous, Nick. This might have been the very year the Uggs first came out.
And that's the hell she's enduring now.
Yeah.
This all happened because she waited in line for Uggs.
Right.
She should have waited in line for a Nintendo Wii like a real guy.
Uggs weren't initially branded to be used for white women. It was just adopted by them. I think it was originally like a
God damn it!
Like a snow kind of like thing. I don't remember exactly.
What are you on about?
I'm just saying that Uggs weren't originally branded towards women. It wasn't meant to...
What are you talking about? Kyle, if you're not going to be sober, if you're not sober enough to drive me home, then you're not sober enough to bring up a topic
this
during
conversation.
There you go.
That's the rule.
Nick's got the right of it.
He figured it out for us. It's like that show, Figure It Out, but we're diagnosing Kyle's latest...
Are you Summer Sanders? Or are you Danny Tamborelli?
I wish I was even as successful as Danny Tamborelli.
Well, I bet he does too, because last I heard he was just working a bagel shop.
Last I saw Danny Tamborelli, he was hanging out with Lori Beth Dinberg, and they were both big as blimps.
Well, dude,
So-
if I was confident that I could land a bagel shop gig, I'd be like way more fuck.
More of a go-getter attitude.
More of less of a fuck face asshole shit show.
I mean, the reason why I asked earlier is because like Caitlyn every so often is like, "What is Keith? What?" Like she's like worried about you. She's like, "What is Keith gonna do?"
Hey,
And I'm like, I don't know.
lots of that's a common theme with like functional
Yeah,
people.
why
that-
isn't she just consigned like we are to watch Keith die over time?
It's
it's like she has like a natural nurturing instinct of some kind.
She'll,
That's the difference.
she'll constantly ask like, "Hey, is Keith come over today?" I'm like, "I don't know." And she's like, "What do you mean you don't know?" I'm like, "Well, I asked him, hey Keith, do you want to hang out today?" And all he responded with was,
And it's been
"My
2
ass."
hours.
He said,
And whereas she
for
probably
fucking
has a
out loud.
thought like, you should check on your friend who hasn't responded to any sort of communications in hours. He may be injured or missing.
No, he responded. It just was not in an appropriate way.
It wasn't coherent.
Yeah.
It was usually my ass or my piss or my ass is piss.
He said
One of
my
those
fuck is
variations.
shit. I mean, I don't know. I assume it means he's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you want to decipher that one? No, I just think it's the same sort of like mental divergence between how like, you know, if one of her friends were missing or like she could not hear anything from them for hours when she knew they weren't at work or anything else, she would probably start to worry, whereas you or I will immediately say motherfucker and start venting hate like steam into the air.
I mean, in fairness, Nick, the
Not
difference there
wrong.
being is that, you know, her friends might plausibly be at a job or doing something otherwise that diverts her attention. You know, you know for a fact that if the optimistic scenario is that I actually use human words and not just a clip of an anime going beep 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 beep, you know, like that makes a difference.
The other day, like what was it? I asked Keith a question, and then he responded in what he thought was an appropriate answer. He said, this was what it was. It was, hey, do you want to get some ramen tonight or whatever? And I said, something, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, or is it some sort of Nickelodeon 2000s to 2003 show, or not a Nickelodeon 2000 to 2003
What the
show?
fuck are you talking about?
This is exactly what you said.
I doubt
And
it.
like, I'm like, what the fuck does he mean by this?
You got some riddle of the Sphinx as an answer.
But it turns out it was actually, if I had done my research, I would have been like, this is
I
a
know what you're
well
talking
done
about.
riddle.
Yeah.
He basically was asking, is a ramen shop Caitlyn's Way? Because there was a 2000 to 2003 Nickelodeon show called Caitlyn's Way. That he just wanted to know, like,
It
would
was
Caitlyn
called
like this?
Just a Kid in other markets, though. So if you don't get that reference, that's probably why.
I didn't fucking get it because I wasn't watching
I was
Nickelodeon
talking
2000
to
to
the listeners
2003.
at home.
They sure weren't fucking watching it. They're barely watching this show.
Nobody knows what the fuck I'm
If they
talking
will
about.
watch this show, they will watch anything.
There you go. That's the.
But
that's
Kyle,
the
you understand? It's like the one person that gets what the fuck I'm talking about will feel validated in a primal way. It's kind of like it's like how OneyPlays works when they start doing Rugrats voices or some shit. What the
I
hell?
thought you meant whenever they start talking about meme videos that they all seem to know about, and I never do, not even once.
Well, I was trying to talk about something I actually got and didn't have to look up, like when they talk about the kid that melted down asking about VRAM for Minecraft or whatever the fuck. I was like, well, I don't get that reference, but I don't feel bad about not getting it.
Yeah, I think we're just too old. We're not in the market for like meme shit. Like, I guess
mean,
memes are the
some
biggest
memes,
fucking
but it
funniest things
depends.
to people who are younger than us. But like, I don't know.
Wait. I instantly.
It's
I have-
whatever.
I have no object permanence. That's why I keep checking the map so often. In case you're
It's
fucking
not
frustrated.
because it's designed to be an indistinguishable labyrinth.
Well, that certainly doesn't help, but the fact that I check it like within a millisecond of already checking it is simply because the second it's not in front of my face, my brain can't conceive of it still being there.
You're lacking that crucial part of the brain where, like, seeing a symbol that represents the place and looking at the place, you can't marry the two ideas in your mind.
So it's next to where his empathy gland would be.
Which is kind of like why my reading comprehension is so bad. Hey, Nick, does this remind you of anything?
That's generally horrifying. What the hell? That's all she could say.
No, she had lots more to say, Kyle.
Oh, well.
A lot more to say.
Yeah.
There was a lot
As
to say.
As evidenced by the words.
She said, what the hell? This is a big old bitch pussy, basically.
Well, I mean, it might... That's not at all what she said, but it could be. Knowing this game's symbology.
You know? Oh, pick up that movie.
Oh, God, what's happening? I need something good. Oh, shit. More gangsta. I don't want to wake it up, though. Come on, Heather. Work with me. Work with me. There we go.
Work with me.
All right, I got the pork liver. We're in business. Believe it or not, that is a step in the right direction.
There's something on that table.
That is a vital object.
Get the thing, get the thing, get the thing, get the thing, get away, get away, get away, get away, and leave. Now leave. Okay, now we leave, now we leave, now we leave. Okay.
I feel like this game wouldn't be nearly as terrifying if it had decent controls.
What? Oh, well, maybe, but like,
maybe.
you know, Kyle.
Same with the first Resident Evil.
Oh,
the
yeah.
scariest thing was the fact that aiming was impossible.
Yeah, like, I remember, like, the big remake scare was that, like, you walk into a room and you're like, oh, why is the camera not changing? And then all of a sudden your character backs up and there's a zombie. You're like, oh, fuck, I had no idea that was there. But if I was a real human being, I probably would have.
I would have shit my pants.
Yeah. Although, the first time I played and those dogs jumped through the window, that got me pretty good and I was excited.
Not frightened. He was just genuinely enraptured with this.
Yes! This is what I wanted!
Finally, fuck
Ready
these
to be
windows.
torn apart by dogs.
I've been saying this whole time, fuck these windows.
Oh, I've already been here, I think. And I'm getting out. There's a crawly man on the floor. This is just like the last time I went to Dunkin Donuts in Orlando. A real-life Florida man. I did have my first run-in with a genuine Florida man at a Dunkin Donuts in like the last couple of months. I forget what it was, but there was just a guy in line, and like while I was waiting, he turned around and he was just something like, "Hey, has anyone like tried to hurt you? Like, has your family died and stuff like that?" I'm like, no,
Yeah.
it's good. It's like, oh, that's the important thing. That's the important thing. That's good. It's just like, yeah, like, but you know, it was off-putting and all, but I was like, we're in line at Dunkin' Donuts. It's well lit in here. Nothing's happening. It's Florida.
No, I agree with you, Keith. I often find myself in positions where like I'm at a place where like a lot of like shady ass fucking people are coming in the door, and I'm like, should I be here? And then like I look at the way I'm dressed, and I'm like, I think I'm all right.
I'm a pile of shit.
Like,
my first time that I went to a Dunkin' Donuts in Orlando, I was trying to find an apartment for school, and I went with my dad. We went over to get Dunkin' at like 6 in the fucking morning because he likes to do everything before God is up to see you.
Yeah.
And
quick son, he'll never know.
we popped in there. We got some donuts and some coffee, and I just got like a black coffee, and the lady working the register was way too fucking energetic for that early in the day.
I know the kind you're talking about.
Yeah, and I specifically recall getting my coffee, and I sat down, and I looked at it, and she marked mine. They have like little check marks to say if you got like cream, sugar, whatever. She wrote large all across my cup, "Black is beautiful." And I sat down and I looked over, and she's just like dancing behind the register, having a fucking time. And I was
What
like,
is this, Starbucks? Oh, I got
I was like, welcome to Orlando.
Something like that happened to me, but it was in Colorado, and I just figured it was a hippie thing. I guess there's just a certain type that works at coffee shops on the early shift. Oh,
I mean, if you work at a coffee shop and you don't like visibly appear to want to kill yourself to every customer who walks in the door, then you're gonna seem off the mark.
Superhuman. Either super or superhuman. I'm not sure which.
I got, speaking of like being too like energetic, I guess. Like I've been kind of getting like a talking to sort of
have
by the director of events because like her philosophy on like how to do things is drastically different than mine. Like she'll like say, hey, we're gonna try to do this, and like for instance, like someone's like, hey, we want to do an event on Tuesday, and I'm like, no, we're in the middle of this huge event season, tell them no. She's like, I can't just tell them
Ramadan.
no.
I'm the devout Muslim.
She's like, I can't just tell them no. And I'm like, yeah, you can. Just fucking tell them no. What are they going to do? And she's like, Kyle, you can't do my job. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking do your job because I would do it way different than you.
I would do a bad job if I could get away
She's
with
like, no, you're supposed to like, find ways to make them satisfied. I'm like, no, my whole goal is to make them say,
oh, my
customers.
fiance tried that old line on me.
My whole goal is to get them to say, never mind. So like,
You're supposed to want to get customers and have them desire to pay you for further services.
Oh,
nope,
shit,
wrong. That's not my goal. My goal is to just get them to say, oh, never mind.
It spooked me, right? Like that's the fucked up thing. I'm like supposed to have my head together, but it spooks me with a guy on the ground. I can't explore methodically when I'm running from a guy on the ground.
Yeah, a quivering, skinless fiend does put a kink in the works of most operations.
Man, this is really reminding me of my first month in Orlando.
Damn it. I was about to say the same joke. I was going to be like,
There's
yeah.
so many Florida jokes you can make during a
I
Silent
get these
Hill
on my door all the time. These fucking church groups.
I think I saw this.
Yeah, there's like a billboard right outside of Nashville that looks exactly like that.
Sure. Let me throw this in the trash for you.
Did we talk about how one time Caitlyn was staying the night at my apartment when we first started dating? Oh, there's a cutscene here. Caitlyn was staying at my apartment, and then like these people knock on my door, and then they like knock, and I answer it, and I'm drunk as a lord, and they're like, is Kyle? And I'm like, yeah. And they go, hey, we heard that you wanted to talk to us, and I'm like, who the fuck are you guys?
Oh, you said
like,
what Heather said.
We're like the Latter-day Saints, and I'm like, okay, who, number one, told you I live here, and who told you that I'm interested in talking to you? Like,
Well,
why?
before I answer that question, could you please put your penis away?
It's like,
Who's the dead motherfucker who sent you over here?
yeah, how did they know who I was? It was legitimately kind of creepy. And I'm like, I'm busy. It's 11 a.m. I gotta get back to drinking. Bye. But it was kind of weird to just like have a religious group know who you were, number one, but you've never once spoken to anybody that seems to be affiliated with them.
Yeah, I always assumed that my name was invisible whenever a devout person read it on paper, like some kind of a magic.
Just say, like, well, this part of the page seems to be blank.
We skipped a row. Oh well.
Just like God.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, if you're a religious person already, you don't need anyone to come invite you to church. You know where to fucking find it. And besides, if you're out there proselytizing to people, trying to bring in new recruits, like, don't you have battered women's shelters and like drug rehab centers to hang around?
Yes, believe it or not, there are people in greater need of spiritual aid than I. Nick, your voice seemed like it was coming out of Vincent here, and it fits so well.
That joke will never get old.
What joke? I haven't told a joke this whole episode. I haven't
Early
been fucking
like
joking.
lip sync is terrifying because like they try to like for some reason make these lips move around their teeth.
But it's like
Like they're
2002.
inflating around their head.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Here's another. Speaking of fucking esoteric shit that no one will get, but the one who does will either love or despise me. But Vincent here is exactly my mental picture of Mr. Harvey from The Lovely Bones. Anyway, go back to talking about shit that anybody in the world. Go back.
The Lovely Bones, goddamn.
Go back.
The book version
you know
or the
you want
movie
that
version?
reference at least. Oh, Kyle's a terrible human being.
Well,
This girl looks like a heroin addict. She's got those like reddish patches around her eyes, and in that cutscene, it looked like she had black teeth.
Thank God.
yeah.